When you picture Spain, what do you see? Sun-drenched beaches, maybe? Flamenco dancers? Well, I want you to forget all that. Just for a moment, because the real story of Spain, it's a story of deep, powerful contrasts. It's a nation that was forged in the fire of empires, but today it's defined by this incredibly fierce modern spirit. This is a story about a place that's always reinventing itself, a land where the past isn't just something you read about in a book, it's something that's alive all around you. You know, trying to understand Spain really makes you ask a pretty fundamental question. A place like this, it just challenges every simple definition, and it forces us to wonder, what really holds a nation together? Is it one history, one language? Because here, well, the answer is so much more complex, and honestly, so much more fascinating than you might think. I mean, just picture this. One minute you're standing in the shadow of a 2,000-year-old Roman aqueduct. You can almost hear the echoes of empire. Then, just a few hours later, you could be silently gliding across that same landscape on one of the most advanced high-speed rail networks in the world. That's the daily reality in Spain. You've got these stunning Moorish palaces sharing the skyline with massive solar farms. It's where the ancient and the modern aren't just coexisting, they're beating with the same pulse. And that right there brings us to this second, and maybe the most defining contrast of all. So, on paper, Spain is one single kingdom, right? It's united under one flag, one constitution. But look a little closer, and inside that unity, you find this incredible explosion of diversity. We're talking 17 distinct autonomous communities. Each one has its own government, its own unique culture, and in many cases, its own official language. It's this constant, fascinating dance between being one single country and being a mosaic of many nations all at once. So, how did Spain become this place of such intense contrasts? Well, to get it, you have to peel back the layers of history. Because Spain wasn't just born, it was built, forged, really, by conquest, by faith, and by the dramatic collision of entire civilizations.
Okay, so let's trace this journey. It really begins with the Romans. They're the ones who gave the peninsula its name, Hispania, and laid the foundation for its language and laws. Then, in 711, everything changes. The Umayyad conquest creates Al-Mundalus, which for centuries becomes this incredible beacon of science and art. After that, you have the Reconquista, this centuries-long push by Christian kingdoms to reclaim the land. Then we hit 1492. What a pivotal year. Granada, the very last Muslim stronghold, falls. And in that exact same year, Columbus sets sail, launching Spain into its new role as a global empire. And finally, the modern chapter, 1978. A brand new constitution is written and the nation is completely reshaped once again.
So what was the result of building this massive empire? Well, it wasn't just about grabbing territory. It was a revolution in how the world was connected. Spain basically created one of the first truly global systems for trade and communication. It completely transformed how Europe, and really the whole world, saw itself. And you know what? That's an imperial echo you can still feel today. Right, so that whole history, all those separate kingdoms and powerful regions, it didn't just vanish into thin air. Nope, it actually became the blueprint for the modern Spanish state. It set the stage for this really unique political experiment in balancing unity with diversity. And at the very heart of modern Spain is this core political idea. It's called the Estado de las Autonomías. Now, what that means is, even though Spain is officially one single state, it's actually one of the most decentralized nations in all of Europe. The constitution itself recognizes not just regions, but nationalities, giving them a really profound right to govern themselves. This is the legal DNA, the foundation, for that mosaic we were talking about. And when you see this diversity up close, it is absolutely breathtaking. You've got Catalonia with its own proud language and a fiercely distinct historical identity. Then you have the Basque Country, home to a language so ancient, so unique that it has no known living relatives. It's a true linguistic island in the middle of Europe. Head to the northwest, and in Galicia, you can hear these Celtic and Portuguese whispers in their language. And of course, down in the south, Andalusia is the living, breathing soul of flamenco, a direct cultural line back to Al-Andalus. Every single one of these regions is like its own essential chapter in the grand story of Spain. So yeah, Castilian Spanish is the language that ties everyone together. But think about this. For almost 1 out of every 5 people in Spain, it's not their first language. We're talking millions of people who grow up speaking Catalan or Galician or Basque. And that's not just some minor detail, right?
It's a fundamental truth about what Spain is, a nation that truly speaks with many voices.
But Spain's story isn't just about ancient history and all these regional identities. It's also one of the most dramatic, frankly unbelievable transformations of the last century. It's the story of an incredible leap from decades of isolation straight into the very heart of modern Europe.
You see, for decades, Spain was kind of a nation in the shadows, really isolated under the dictatorship of Franco. But when he died in 1975, everything changed. The country didn't just walk towards democracy, it sprinted. That 1978 constitution wasn't just a piece of paper, it was like an act of national rebirth. It completely unleashed this wave of creativity, of social and economic energy that would remake Spain from the ground up. And if you want to see physical proof of that transformation, look no further than the trains. We're talking about nearly 4,000 kilometers of high-speed rail. This isn't just about getting from A to B. It's a powerful symbol of a modern, connected Spain. It's a network that literally stitches this diverse country together at 300 kilometers an hour. It's the longest in all of Europe and second in the entire world only to China. That's incredible.
And you know what? The rest of the world has definitely taken notice. In 2024, a staggering 94 million people visited Spain. Let that sink in. That is nearly double the country's entire population. That's more than just tourism. That's a massive global endorsement, making Spain the second most visited country on the face of the earth.
And let's talk about the economy for a second, because after that painful financial crisis back in 2008, a lot of people wrote Spain off. But what happened next was this remarkable story of resilience. The Spanish economy has been growing way faster than the average for the Eurozone, proving just how dynamic it is and repositioning itself as a real engine for the European economy. Now, all of this economic and social revival, it's all built on another, even deeper foundation: Spain's immense and enduring power as a global cultural superpower. 50. Just think about that number for a second. 50 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. That is one of the highest counts anywhere in the world. This tells you that Spain isn't just a country with a rich past. It's a country where world history is literally woven into the fabric of daily life. We're talking everything from prehistoric caves with paintings from our earliest ancestors, all the way to the mind-bending masterpieces of modernism. And what's really amazing is just how deeply Spanish culture has shaped all of our lives. I mean, think about it. The very idea of the modern novel, that's Cervantes' Don Quixote. The art that shattered all the rules, that's Velázquez, Goya, Picasso, Dalí. That impossible, beautiful architecture, Gaudí. The raw, unfiltered passion of flamenco. Even the simple joy of sharing tapas with friends. These aren't just Spanish things anymore. They've become part of our shared global language. So, okay, let's pull all these different threads together. You've got this ancient past living alongside a hypermodern present. You have these incredibly deep regional identities inside one unified state. You have this massive cultural legacy paired with a relentless drive for innovation. The big question is, how does it all hold together? Well, maybe, just maybe, the answer lies right here in the national motto, plus ultra. It means further beyond. It was adopted way back during the Age of Discovery, and it was basically a declaration to the world that Spain refused to be limited by what was known. It's a motto that just perfectly captures a nation that has always, always been defined by its ambition to see what's over the next horizon. And so that enduring quest for Spain continues. It's not about trying to solve its contrasts or make them disappear. It's about living within them. It's a nation that proves that a national identity doesn't have to be one single simple story. You know, in a world that absolutely loves simple labels, maybe Spain's greatest lesson for all of us is that a country can be many things, all at once, and that it can find its truest strength not in spite of all that complexity, but because of it.